Well, good morning, people.
Good morning. Look at my hair. It does the same thing every morning. Now.
All right. Now, is everybody really pissed off about the Epstein stuff? Because I tell you, I am.
If you're not, you should
Yeah,
be.
if you're not, you should be. As far as I'm concerned, on this one issue, look, I've been telling people this forever. There is absolutely no difference than the Democrats and the Republicans. And let me tell you something. I've wondered for a long time when the Republicans were going to play the same as the Democrats. Because for years now, the Democrats, they're willing to destroy America. Just outright destroy America as long as they win. Okay? Scorched earth policy. Victory is everything. If we don't win, destroy it. Okay? And I've always wondered, because the Republicans always try to compromise, and you can't compromise with these people. But no, Trump showed us perfectly clear now there's a new game in town. The Republicans and the mega party are willing to destroy America to win. So right now, it's a game changer. Both parties are playing the same game. I personally, it's not dangerous. It's not any better. It's just, it's like DEI and everything. Even knowing what I know now, that Trump and his administration was going to just rip my heart out with this Epstein stuff, all right, I still would have voted for him. Why?
Kamala was not a choice.
Kamala was not a choice. The woker, the better. All right? The problem is there's a lot of people that vote Democrat that don't understand what the Democratic Party truly is. Okay? You've been a Democrat all your life, so you vote Democrat. But yeah, it's scorched earth either way. Trump is willing to destroy the country to get his own way. So right now he's playing the same game the Democrats have been playing for a very long time. All right? It seems to me the one thing that both parties absolutely agree on is protect the pedophiles. Now, Epstein is deeper than just pedophilia, okay? It runs into arms dealing, as far as I understand. It runs into him being a double agent. Supposedly, it's been testified to in his first trial, where he was being tried for pedophilia. He got 13 months work release program because they testified he was an agent. Probably for Mossad and the CIA both, selling arms, right? Dealing in blackmail, okay? We've no idea, but we do know the people that have been to the island, okay? Bill Gates, allegedly. So, yeah, our government right now is thoroughly disgusting. There is no silver lining. I will admit one thing. I never felt so sorry. I was never really a little Marco Rubio fan. I really wasn't. Never was, all right? I'm sure he's a genius. But I tell you what, when I looked at his face at that cabinet meeting, when the reporter asked the question about the Epstein thing, and then Trump goes on the defensive, I looked at Marco Rubio's face, and I truly felt sorry for Marco Rubio. I do believe I owe that man an apology, because I could tell you right now, he wasn't into the cover-up.
No, most of them. But
no.
Look, these people, they're, if you know that punishment for people that commit acts against children, okay, is a slap in the hand, okay? People that rape women also get a slap in the hand, okay? Any sexual deviance act gets a slap in the hand, okay? Now, where do the laws come from, okay? Where do all of this stuff comes from, right? What I'm trying to tell you is, look at the people that think that abusing a child is not worthy of the death penalty, which is to me. Yeah. And then let's Let's figure out who's who in the zoo. Because let me tell you, these guys are dirty. All of them. I mean, by guilty by association. Okay, I don't want to say that every human being that becomes wealthy has had to do compromise with their values in their lives, but I mean, the list of clients.
We're talking about baby killing and pedophilia.
The list of clients
Yeah.
of the Epstein, every single one of them is a multimillionaire. So is it the same thing? Is it correlation, this causation, whatever? Perhaps no. But what I can tell is from all of this stuff is that a lot of the people have compromised their own values, any humanity, Christianity, any mercy, compassion for others, for money and comfort.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be poor.
Yeah, look, I mean, when the one thing that the two parties can agree on is pedophilia, that's a dangerous standard. And look, it's not just the pedophilia. This Epstein thing goes way back. It's multi-layered. This is probably, this guy is probably the worst man that's ever lived. Or the people that are covering up for him are the worst that has ever been. And look, this was not just Trump. The Democrats covered this stuff a long time ago. All right, now look, they've got, I can't remember the kid's name. He was fixing to blow the lid off of, back when Donna Brazile was in charge of the Democratic Party, right? They said that, yeah, the FBI has that boy's laptop. They got Hunter Biden's laptop. They got the Epstein videotapes, which I'm sure show clients, right? The whole tragedy here was not what everybody is mad about, that, oh, we're not gonna, we're closing the case and everything. They said, no, there was no predicate for an investigation into a third party. That is the most disgusting thing that's ever came out of our government, all right? Because you're outright saying it. The Democrats just sat back and didn't mention it, all right? So now what they're going to do is they're finally going to get around to prosecuting James Comey and John Brennan, which should have happened years ago. Right? So now you're going to sacrifice them. And what is it with Republicans throwing women under the bus? John McCain did that to Sarah Palin, and now Donald Trump is doing it to Pam Bondi. Ain't no one sticking up for that chick. Look, I don't like her. To me, she's a blonde bimbo, but that's aside the point. We're supposed to protect women.
The problem is they... It's the oldest game in the trick in the book. They are talking about the tragedy that happened in Texas, and then when somebody asks about Epstein, Donald Trump gets mad and says, "How dare you do it?" See, trying to shame you into asking for the
forgetting about it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
And he's like, "Are we still talking about Epstein? It was one day." Of course, that's the lead story.
Let me say this. I ain't no prophet. Okay, I'm not a prophet or anything like that. Just my husband and I are careful students of Scripture, careful students of history, careful students of everything else. And let me tell you something. As long as there is no justice for the children, there is no justice for
the innocent.
The blood of the innocents continues to be spilled on the land. As long as we continue to turn a blind eye to the injustices of the people in charge in this country, we will continue to suffer.
But one thing is for sure. If you have half a brain, you truly understand right now there's no difference. Both parties are playing the same end game right now. I would rather destroy America than lose. How do you think Trump got this big, beautiful spending bill passed? Ask yourself that question.
Blackmail.
Yeah, because this bill, from what I understand, was truly horrible on spending, okay? And look, defund Planned Parenthood, absolutely. You want an abortion, pay for it yourself. I don't agree with abortion. I think it's a cardinal sin. All right? You want a sex change operation or whatever they call those operations, I don't care if you do it. I got no problem with it. Pay for it yourself. All right? Those are elective surgeries. You're electing to murder a child, and you're electing body mutilation. The United States government doesn't pay for tattoos. We shouldn't pay for this either.
I think I'm gonna join Elon Musk.
I'm joining Elon Musk's new team. You know why? Not because I particularly like Elon Musk, but come on, it can't be any worse than these two.
At least I don't believe he's a pedo.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
That's it.
All of his exes seem to be of age. I'm just saying, right? I'm like, okay. I mean, they all seem to be grown-up women.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, who would have thought that Elon Musk would come out smelling like roses on this whole thing? Let me tell you, he's the only stand-up guy I can tell from here, which is sad.
I don't mean anything by this, okay? I always thought Elon was kind of retarded. I guess all really smart people are.
A little.
Guess what? I'm joining the retards.
Antisocial.
I am. I mean, look, think about it, right? He was really mad at the spending bill because they lied to him. They took advantage of him. Trump would not have gotten elected if Elon Musk hadn't thrown X and bought Twitter, and right? And why? Because he said he was going to balance the budget and save America. So, what did he do? Well, he cut a bunch of Democratic pork from the spending, right? And then he threw Republican pork in there. That's what I'm telling you. Right now, they're both playing the same game, and if you're not smart enough to see through it, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Right? We just can't. Because, you know.
I mean.
Elon, yeah.
We're joining the party.
Yeah, we're joining Elon's party. I was looking it up this morning. I don't know how to do it. But I most definitely am withdrawn from the Republican Party. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You people are after the same thing. And if you can't see it, you're so simple-minded, I can't talk to you. They are after the Bill of Rights. They're going to take it all away from us. Okay? That's the only difference that I see is that, well, look the words up again. Words do matter. Progressive, they want immediate, fast change. Conservative, slow, steady change. That's it. They both have the same goal. That's the only reason I voted Republican, because they're moving slower, and I was hoping someone could figure out a way out of this.
And just remember, these people are playing with your money.
Yeah.
Money you give them. Okay?
But,
our money.
I mean, here's the whole thing. If you really look into this Epstein thing, all right, and you really start to look at it, you're going to find that this goes far beyond perverted pedophilia, all right? This is the who's who in the catalog. These are the elites. These are the billionaires, the millionaires, the gazillionaires, congressmen, world leaders, okay? And they are above the law. They're telling you that. Donald J. Trump, by ordering the DOJ and the FBI to cover this up, he is telling you the exact same thing. I'm one of them now. I'm above the law.
Yes.
All right? That's exactly what he's telling me.
Yeah.
And I believe him. I'm taking him at his word. But I just hope right now, I mean, but you know, the people that are on the Epstein list more than likely are in control of the mainstream media. What we need real journalism, and we need someone to really dig into this and make it public.
Friends, let me just say one thing, the last thing for me, for Republicans. Don't be a Democrat, okay? What happened with the Democrats is they, no matter what dumbass thing, their party leader, the Biden, the Kamala, they're right behind her. Woo, Kamala. Okay? Don't be like that. We need to call out and withdraw support from those in the Republican Party for which you voted, that don't do what they promised you to do. Don't be a follower like that. That means you need to know, you need to acknowledge that the people you might elected are not doing what you asked them to do, are not doing what they promised you that they would do, and therefore they need to be held accountable. Okay?
This is divide and conquer, all right? The more they get, and the biggest divide and conquer out there is DEI, all right? That absolutely guarantees that the American people won't come together for a common good. Because the common good right now is the status quo. We've got to get rid of it. We need term limits. We need a third party, all right? And it's like people are so entrenched. It's like the two-party system gives you the moral high ground, depending on what side you're on. You believe you're right, therefore the other side has to be wrong. Good and evil, if you will. Look, I don't have to agree with everything Donald Trump does. I do agree that his platform in whole is better than DEI. DEI has been destroying the country since Barack Obama. Every summer they take to the streets, they riot, they burn, they murder, they tear shit down. This is not an imagination. This happens every year. And look, they're not Republicans. You really see these people voting for Donald Trump? No, that's the left. That's DEI in practice, okay? Now what Trump is saying is he's willing to go to the same, that's why January 6th upset them so much. Not that there was anything worse there than what they do every summer, because if you have any common sense at all, you can look at this and understand you guys do this every summer. You're too lazy to do it in the winter. You ain't got no jobs, so therefore you can devote time to this. Right? But now, that's what scared them, because that's the first time the Republicans ever got violent and acted up, right? Well, I got a feeling here that we're in for it, all right? When there is no justice, when pedophiles and baby killers aren't being put in jail, there is no moral high ground anymore.
I agree.
Right.
They're all filthy.
And Donald Trump, he joined the baby killers.
Yeah.
So
he's no different than the rest.
He's no different than the rest of them. And now he joined to protect the pedophiles at all cost.
Yeah.
Right? So show me a difference between a Republican and a Democrat.
He might as well be Democrat.
Yeah, and look, I understand that the immigration situation. I understand Joe Biden bought 10 billion or 10 million people into the country, which he should be prosecuted for. He should. That he committed treason, okay? But, truthfully, I did not vote for chasing Mexican street vendors around MacArthur Park on horseback.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That's terrible. I mean, look, they're selling fruit.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I didn't vote for that. That's fucked up. Oh, excuse me. Anyway. All right, but that's what I'm saying. There's absolutely no difference.
No difference.
Right. But this Epstein thing, that Epstein thing really got my goat.
Yeah.
Really did. Because, they have showed you right there. The one thing that Washington, D.C. is united in is protecting pedophiles. Right? And the rich.
Remember, as long as the blood of the innocent is on this land, we will not get peace.
Yeah, that's God's commandment, protect the innocent, but
we don't do it.
Anyway, God bless everybody.
God bless you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.